Welcome to Barrio Voices, where we highlight the voices of our barrios, familias, and communities. This is Velas, and I hope you're having a good one. Sit back and enjoy la plática. Órale. Welcome back, everybody, to another great episode of Barrio Voices. My pleasure to be hosting y'all once again. This is gonna be nearly our second year anniversary, ¿verdad? Again, I've been on and off regarding the episodes, but I do want to do this episode in celebration, and not just our, us reaching our second year, doing this podcast and everything, pero también mañana, or depending when y'all listen to this, right? This Sunday, there's a lunada going on, hosted by Luna, Latinos United for New America, and this is their third annual lunada. They're gonna be doing this again next year. Pero this is a great celebration because you're going to be celebrating the organizing they have done within the community for years. I believe this organization came to be in 2013, and since then has been really active within the community in La Tropicana neighborhood and all of East San Jose, where they're again organizing the communities, engaging them in all the civic engagement that's out here, right? Again, there's a lot of great things being done out here in San Jose, a lot of good movements, a lot of good organizations, but Luna has been non-stop in making things happen for the community and engaging the folks that are closest to the solutions to be part of that solution as well. So I want to be hosting today Chava. He's actually going to be retiring from being the executive director of Luna. He's been the founder of Luna as well. And today we just want to recognize his leadership and the contributions they have done within the organization, within East San Jose, within all over the state. He's been organizing since a long time ago, right? And again, with this is a celebration to recognize his own legacy. And I think this episode will serve really well for all the organizers out there, all the leaders within the communities, everybody tuning in to learn a little bit about how to also be a leader and what does it mean to be an organizer at this moment in time. And so, said again, I appreciate everybody tuning in again. I'm gonna be doing episodes in a regular schedule again. Let me figure out the pattern, and then I'll communicate that with y'all, and allow y'all to be in tune with a lot of good community members, from San Jose, from your communities, from your barrios, and host them on the podcast. You know what I mean? All done with love. Again, I appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm gonna go ahead and just allow DJ Velas to hit the rola. Oh,
Yeah, my name is Salvador Chava Bustamante. I'm an immigrant from Mexico. I came to the United States in 1967, 68, and I work in the fields for the first 12 years of my life here in the United States. I was fortunate enough to have the United Farm Workers be part of my life from 1970 to 1979. And then after that, I left the fields. I decided to become an organizer. And I worked with different unions and different organizations doing organizing since 1979. Until my retirement a few months ago. And so, yeah, I decided that I'm going to enjoy the good life now that I'm about to be 70 years old and start seeing more of the world. And that's who I am. When I first decided to become an organizer, um, I was full of arrogance, right? And I thought that, just by opening my mouth, I would be able to, get hundreds of people to rally behind me on campaigns. But I was just, stupidity on my part. Really, I mean, the best legacy that an organizer can leave is to really touch a few people so they can understand and then they decide that they want to do this job. They want to continue to do this job. And what I hope is that I have touched enough people through my life as an organizer that there will be others when I'm no longer in this world that will continue this job. Organizing is a never-ending job because injustice is, it's never going to disappear. Y tiene uno que entender que el cambio es un proceso. cambio es un proceso al que tiene uno que dedicar tiempo y tiene que estar comprometido, ¿verdad? Y entender que si no logré lo que quería este día, es posible que la semana que entra, o es posible que el mes que viene, o es posible que en 1 o 2 años podamos conseguir lo que buscamos. Pero lo que es importante también saber es que mientras que uno no deje de luchar, siempre va a obtener un resultado a sus esfuerzos, y eso es organizar, ¿no? In 1970, I was 20 years old, and I participated in the largest vegetable strike in California, organized by the United Farm Workers in Salinas, in the Salinas Valley. Unfortunately, the strike only lasted a few weeks because back in that time, we didn't have the right to form unions. And so the Supreme Court of California decided that our strike was illegal and we had to dissolve it. But that was the first experience I had in terms of being in touch with my own personal power. And I had the opportunity to have a better taste of that a few years later, after the legislature in California approved the Agricultural Labor Relations Act, that for the first time in the history of this country gave farm workers the right to vote and form unions. And so, being able to vote and bring the union to the company that I was working was another, experience that gave me a chance to get in touch with my own personal power. And then, after I left the fields in 1979, I went to work with different organizations. And finally, in 88, I was working with SEIU Local 1877. And in 99, I had the chance to work on an election campaign. The union decided in that year to support Cindy Chavez for city council. And I was given the assignment to lead a group of 30 workers to do a get out the vote campaign. We were assigned to work in the Guadalupe, Washington neighborhood, and our mission was to make sure everybody on our list voted. We went door to door in the middle of the rain, talking to people and offering rides to take them to the polls. The polls closed at 8 p.m., but we stood outside of our precincts until 8:30. So none of the people that we had taken to vote and who were still in the lines won't be denied the right to cast their ballots. I remember that it took more than a month for the election to finally be decided. And in the end, Cindy won by about 14 votes. And I was convinced that the people that we mobilized to the polls that night were the ones who won the election for Cindy. And so the following year, and after living in the United States for 30 years as a legal resident, I decided to become a citizen and, start taking part of the democracy of this country, voting and promoting civic engagement as another way of improving the lives of our people in the United States, Arturo. La razón que me impulsó a crear Luna, Arturo, fue el tener conciencia de las diferentes necesidades que afectan a la comunidad latina de aquí de San José, de aquí del Valle del Silicón. Leer el reporte de la Fundación Hispana, donde dice que para el año 2040 vamos a ser el grupo étnico más grande de aquí del Valle, y saber la cantidad de problemas que tenemos y necesidades que enfrentamos como pueblo, es algo que como organizador consciente no podía yo dejar simplemente ahí haberlo leído y no hacer nada, ¿no? Porque cuando un organizador realmente es consciente y encuentra una necesidad y no hace nada, entonces nos convertimos en cómplices. Así que en lugar de convertirnos en cómplices, decidimos hacer algo, ¿verdad? ¿Y qué podíamos hacer? Y lo mejor que podíamos hacer nosotros es hacer lo que habíamos aprendido en nuestra experiencia con la Unión y en nuestra experiencia en organizar con otras organizaciones. Y que es nada más y nada menos en lo que puede resumirse qué es organizar, Arturo. Y organizar es nada más y nada menos que aprender que nosotros como individuos tenemos poder. Poder, y ese poder lo utilizamos para cambiar nuestra vida, cambiar y mejorar nuestras vidas. ¿Ah? Y cuando aprendemos que tenemos ese poder para cambiar nuestras vidas a través de remediar y enfrentar necesidades que tenemos, y que unimos ese poder con el poder de otros individuos y lo usamos colectivamente, los cambios vienen más rápido, Arturo. Entonces, eso fue lo que decidimos hacer. Tomar este reporte, salir a las calles, tocar puertas, hablar con la gente y preguntarles qué tan a gusto estaban con la situación que estaban viviendo, ¿no? Y las necesidades en las comunidades son muchas. Tuvimos que averiguar de qué manera vivía nuestra gente y preguntarles si estaban conformes con esa situación. Y cuando la gente comienza a decirnos que no están conformes, entonces la pregunta era, ¿y qué estás dispuesto a hacer para cambiar esas situaciones? Y es cuando alguien nos confronta acerca de nuestras necesidades y qué es lo que estamos o no haciendo para remediarlas, que tomamos conciencia de nuestra situación. Y ese fue el trabajo inicialmente de Luna, Arturo, de ayudar a nuestras comunidades donde decidimos trabajar, las necesidades que tenemos como pueblo y qué podemos hacer todos juntos, ¿no? Hacer consciente a la gente del poder que colectivamente tenemos y poco a poco a través de esas conversaciones, a través de tener juntas caseras en grupos, fuimos creando un poder como organización que no solamente podíamos usarlo para mejorar las condiciones de gente en los vecindarios, pero también de poder influenciar decisiones que se toman a nivel de gobierno en la ciudad o en el condado, de darle una voz a nuestra gente a través de Luna. Y tenemos ahora grupos organizados en diferentes comunidades que no importa si ya Chava o los organizadores de Luna no están presentes, ellos ya tienen la conciencia y tienen las herramientas y saben qué hacer para tratar con sus problemas y dónde ir y con quién quejarse para poder cambiar su situación y sus problemas. Very hopeful, Arturo. I mean, we started with nothing other than just our desire to work for our communities. No money, no resources, nada, 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 nada. And after 8.5 years, we now have, a budget of $500,000. We have, four organizers and one paid executive director. So, I mean, I think that we have enough resources to guarantee that Luna will continue to operate for many years to come, Arturo. And another hope I have for Luna is that we become like a semillero, right? I mean, an organization where we will continue to produce more leaders, people who will then take on the responsibility to go out and organize their communities and maybe start other organizations. Luna should not have the exclusive in terms of organizing, right? We should create more Lunas, right? We should create more Somos Mayfairs. We should create more organizations that really have it in their hearts, to help our communities so we all can enjoy a better life. thank you for thinking of me for this podcast. I wish you success with not just with this podcast, but in the future, Arturo. You're a brilliant young man, and I know that you're committed to improve our communities, and I wish you success.
And I thank y'all once again for tuning in. Again, much love to you, Chava. Congrats with this as the retirement. And so again, much love to you all tuning in as well. Again, I know that y'all been tuning in because y'all have this heart for your community as well, for your own barrio. So again, I appreciate all of y'all tuning in for who you are, for what y'all doing within your own families and communities. And enough said, thank y'all. Y'all been in tune to Barrio Voices, where we highlight the voices of our barrios, familias, and communities. This is Velas, and to you all, hasta luego, Órale.